Enterprise Management 360.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Tech Chat. Now in this week's episode, I'm going to be speaking to the CEO and co-founder of CoinBurp, Pete Wood. We're going to be discussing everything around cryptocurrency, fintech, and really just an educational piece about what's going on. So let's get started with this interview. Hello and welcome, and I'm joined here by Peter. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, I think a good kind of starting off point here is if you give us a background on the company and where we're currently at with the cryptocurrency landscape.
Yeah, sure. So, I'm Pete. I'm co-founder and CEO of a company called CoinBurp, which is a super easy cryptocurrency exchange. Formed in 2018. We launched our platform in 2019. So the cryptocurrency landscape's a funny one. 2017, it was booming. The price nearly hit $20,000. We had a sharp decline at the start of 2018, and it's calmed down quite a lot since then. For a company like mine, I think it's a great opportunity to really rebuild and get the tech ready for the next run up to a high price point, which I think is just a matter of time.
Yeah. It was interesting when that kind of boom happened and then it settled back down again. Where are we currently at? Is there any kind of regulation processes in place, or where are we really at with that?
Sure. So there are multiple countries that do have regulation in place already. The UK is not one that has regulation in place. So it's an interesting way you can approach it. So we as a responsible cryptocurrency company, we do best practices in order to protect our customers' funds, whether it's crypto, whether it's traditional currencies like pounds in bank accounts. But you don't actually legally have to do it. So you do see companies, especially a few years ago, there were companies that were running away with people's money, and you could never find them. It was the nature of cryptocurrency. It's a scary climate to be in. There is regulation coming around soon. There's an EU directive. It's called the Fifth Anti-Money Laundering Directive, which will be coming around, and the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK, will be enforcing some of these rules in January. And that means around the anti-money laundering specifically, but we will be abiding by those come January.
Security is obviously a massive issue that people are facing. So what are the key security processes that are needed for cryptocurrency?
It depends on how you're storing it. There's a couple of ways you can store it. So let's say you're trading with our exchange, CoinBurp.com. You would need to have the cryptocurrency on our platform to be able to trade it. But you've seen stories all across the world of exchanges being hacked. 50 million, I think, was only recently was stolen from an exchange and taken away. And the nature of cryptocurrency is irreversible. There's no way you can recover it. So what I suggest, which is actually probably counterintuitive to what I do as a business, is if you are a customer and you're using an exchange to buy crypto, but not to actively trade it, take it off. You don't have ownership of it when it's on an exchange. You withdraw it. You have maybe on a phone. You can download a wallet on iOS, on Android. Loads of these wallets are very, very good ways to store crypto. Take it off the exchange. You're not trading it. You need it more secure. It's very simple to withdraw. Just leave it on your phone.
So when we talk about crypto investment, I feel like an important piece that we need to focus on is education. Because, as you mentioned, it's fairly new. Past 10, 11 years that this has been happening. And when it comes to money, people can be quite hesitant, let's say. So how do we get the education? First of all, let's talk about the public. How do we get them to understand what crypto investment is, what cryptocurrency is, and how it can really benefit them?
So businesses are so responsible for the education piece. It's a huge thing that we have to drive home, is that it's not a scary thing. There are huge benefits to cryptocurrency. The issue I see a lot in the mass media is that the only thing that gets reported on the big outlets are the horror stories, the hacks, people running away with money, because that's the thing that's so interesting to the consumer. The problem we have with that is when you speak to a customer who hasn't yet experienced the benefits and the positivity around crypto, is their first reaction is, oh no, I've heard of it, but I've heard really bad stories about that. And that's where it comes onto the educational piece, like you said. So as a business like myself, a key proponent of our company is to really educate the customers. They need to learn about crypto and the blockchain technology and how it really benefits people in the wider world. So there is that gap there at the minute, but us as a business, we're trying to bridge that. Final
question then, as we kind of wrap up here. What final bit of advice would you like to give for people to understand?
It's huge. You need to go on the educational aspect. I don't expect people just to put their money in and hope the price is going to go up, which I think a lot of people do. It's so easy to expect there to be a huge price increase in the future, but the most important thing for me is to upsell the benefits of cryptocurrency and blockchain. It's huge. You'll see it in 5 or 10 years' time. It'll be taken over a lot of processes. But if you're going to get into investment for the first time and you want to get into the space, education is key. It's the number one thing. Do your research. Don't just throw your money at any old crypto and hope for the price to go up. really read and understand the benefits and the underlying tech behind it.
Pete, thanks so much for your time today.
Cheers, Max. Thank you.
One more thing before you go, I just wanted to make everyone aware that the Call & Contact Center Expo is coming up on the 18th and 19th of March. Make sure you're prepared by heading over to callandcontactcenterexpo.co.uk to register for your free ticket. Now, this is Europe's leading event for customer engagement professionals, showcasing the latest and most effective technologies, strategies, and advancements in the customer engagement world. We were there last year and it was a great event. They had 500 leading exhibitors, 1,500 influential visitors, and 250 seminars. So make sure you get your free ticket today at callandcontactcenterexpo.co.uk. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Tech Chat, and thank you so much to Pete for taking the time to talk to us. If you're looking for more great content, make sure you head on over to em360tech.com, and also stay tuned to our social media channels on Twitter, LinkedIn, or subscribe to this YouTube channel.